Hey, what's up to everybody out there? Welcome to another edition of the Round Table Talk. And this is another hotspots in South Florida. Today we are visiting Mills Pond Park in Fort Lauderdale. And the reason why I chose this park is it was recommended by somebody via social media that this is an interesting park to check out. And so I decided to want to check it out for myself and see what it's all about. I did do a little research on, like, not a research, but basically I did do basically a little bit of digging up to see what amenities they have at the park. And one of the amenities they have, I'm hoping that it's open. Most of the times when I do the hotspots in South Florida, it's during the weekdays, and they always have like amenities, but the amenities, either they're only open on the weekends or they're only open certain times of month. Like, when we did Trade Winds Park, they have the steam train rides. That's only for the third weekend of each month. So it's like, you got to come on the third weekend of each month. And, sometimes like, Virginia Key Beach, they say the carousel only operates on the weekends. But, we did go on the weekend and there was no carousel operating because we did go back. But basically, that was that. So we're surrounded by bodies of water. As I was coming up, there was a boat ramp, docking area where you can dock your boats and stuff like that or whatever. But that section was closed. I guess this is somebody's house over here. As right now, we're going to take a brief pause, so we can move ahead and move forward into the segment of this, because I see we have to do a little do a little brief walk. So I'll see you in a few seconds. Okay, to fast forward, you see right here, this is water that looked like it came up all the way on the to the ground level. If you saw me in the last episode when I was doing my hotspots in South Florida and I was at Pinecrest Gardens, I was telling you that like the past couple of days we've had extensive weather where it was flooding badly in certain parts of South Florida, from Fort Lauderdale to Miami. And as you can see, the water here, this is probably still part of the flooding. And it's been like a lot of places have been flooded all over. If you live in the South Florida area, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, there's extensive flooding that's been all over South Florida. So throughout the show, you might see areas, and throughout this episode, you might see areas that have a lot of bodies of water. This is my first time at this park, so I wouldn't know if this park does have, if this is a regular thing with the park, with this water. But, because there is, a little lake area over here, or canoe, or whatever you want to call it, where you can actually, put your boat on and you can ride your boat through. So I wouldn't know if this is actually, part of the weather or not, but I'm quite sure the weather had played a role in it, because it took for when it floods, especially in South Florida, because South Florida is the hurricane state, because we get hurricane like crazy. And so this is basically like, it takes us a day or two. If it's sunny outside, it won't take us long for all the rain to dry up and stuff. But if you constantly have rain and you don't have nothing to dry it up, or you don't have clear sunny skies, you basically, it's going to take you a minute to soak up some of the water. This is the administrative office building right here for Mills Pond Park. So now we're going to do another fast forward, and we're going to see you in a couple of seconds or a minute. Okay, we're fast forwarding. As you see, this is still part of Mills Pond Park. This is part where where it's extensive rain. So I'm trying to watch myself because instead of just walking around, I just cut through the grass, and this is part of the grass where it's still kind of, oh, well, I stepped into it. Some of the grass is still kind of wet and still have puddles of water. See, like here, like I said, it's going to take you a couple of days to actually get, especially if you have rain that's been, you know, a puddle of water in grass. It's going to take you a couple of days to actually get that to dry up. Yeah, it's going to take you a minute to dry up that. Oh yeah. So it's going to take you a minute because this is a body of water that's open field. So yeah, it's going to take you a minute. I believe they have a trail here. I'm going to try to find out. Now, what I did find out online from this park, that they do have remote controlled cars here in the park. So that's what led me to this park. Like, remote controlled cars. This is something interesting. This is a pavilion right here. I'm gonna have to get out of this grass because as I kick my feet up from walking, the water is splashing on my legs, and of course I'm wearing shorts. So this is like something that you don't want. This is a pavilion that's near some trees and woods. I don't know if they have a nature trail or anything of that nature over here, but we're just gonna see. But we're walking. Yeah, they're supposed to have remote controlled cars here from what the site said. So that's what led me to this park. You know, I was told, you know, they have like trails and stuff where you can actually go, and you know, I'm one of them people. I'm a sucker for doing nature trails because I always like to see where the trails take you. Of course, if you see my last episode when we was at Pinecrest Gardens, we actually did a trail, you know, but it wasn't like a nature trail. It was basically a garden trail. So, you know, but this is a park where you actually have probably have an actual trail. So I'm going to see if they do have like an actual trail here where you can actually go to it, you know. But I am going to be looking for the controlled cars because apparently they supposed to have them here from what the site said. So if they don't, they don't. You know, I don't try to go to every park here in South Florida, but I try to do parks that are mainly interesting and that has some interesting things about them. Mills Pond Addition. Mills Pond Addition was acquired by Broward County and the city of Fort Lauderdale in 2003 with financial assistance provided by the Broward County Board of County Commissioners through the 2000 Safe Parks and Land Preservation Bond Program and the Florida Communities Trust. Florida Communities Trust funding for the acquisition of this site was provided by the Florida Communities Trust using Florida Forever funds. Acquired 9/28/05. So I'm guessing this is a trail. We're gonna go off in there into a minute, but right now I wanna take Kitty to an area and look around and see what area. This is kind of an interesting park. You see, then I wanna go where they. Well, we're gonna go this way. We're gonna see if they do have radio controlled cars. If not, you know, well, it is what it is. So we're gonna go. So now we're gonna do a fast forward. So I'm gonna see you in a few seconds because we're gonna do another fast forward because we're making another walk around Table Talk. Okay, fast forward. I guess this is some of the thing that you see from that's the baseball field they put on the baseball field. There is a big old body of lake there. If you You see the cars on the expressway that is, of course, I-95. And I've always wondered because when I'm passing through on 95, you know, wherever I'm going, north or south, if I'm in a vehicle or if I'm traveling or whatever, by bus or whatever the case may be, if I'm in my mind, there was always, once you pass Ball Boulevard, and I believe Sunrise Boulevard, yes, once you pass Sunrise Boulevard, there was always these certain type of windmill type things that looked funny. And I always wondered, like, where they actually, you know, what part has these windmills, like these certain windmills. Okay, if you look up here, you can see the windmill, or you really can't see them. It's like, it's something like a windmill, but it's not a windmill, or something like one of those. I can't explain what it is, but I've always seen them, like when the wind moves, when it's windy, you can see them move. They're over here playing baseball. This is typical funny for a weekday. They're playing baseball, so this is interesting. Over here. This is actually a pretty big park. This park is kind of decent and kind of big. You know, they got a lot of pavilion. I didn't know that there was a body of water that separates the park from I-95, because I really don't pay attention to it. So if you don't pay attention to it, you would never know. There's some more soccer fields, because we passed some soccer fields up there earlier. There's some more soccer fields. I guess there's more to this park over here, so I guess we're gonna be walking over this way. This is one of them parks where, you know, when I do my research for these parks, I actually do research on parks that I feel that has some special type of amenities. You know, Amelia Earhart Park had the water sports complex, and they have the little train, Charlie train ride, however you want to call it, where the kids can get on the little train and the driver drives them around. And then you also have, you know, Pinecrest Gardens, which is the formerly Parrot Jungle. You know, when I go to certain parks, I always look for things that, you know, are interesting in the park, that makes the park interesting. So when you go, you'll be like, oh, there's a couple of houses you see throughout here. So, you know, you get to see the houses throughout that sits over here. And I think we're going through another walking path. There's a lot of pavilions. If you wouldn't notice, this kind of looks like, you know, like how Oleta River was. If you've looked at my previous episodes, you know, Oleta River, you know, something like this. Or if you know, Hugh Taylor, or like my other hotspots, check out my other hotspots videos. You know, you'll be like, oh yeah, this kind of resembles it. You know, something like this. So we're gonna do another fast forward, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna come back from fast forwarding because I want to show you something. You see this right here? This is basically from the flooding. This right here basically is part of the flooding, because if you see in the back area, there is a little bit of grass in the back area. So that means this section was part of the massive flooding that happened during the past couple of days. So now you have it where, you know, you see, I have nothing for you. Look at the ducks coming to me. Or are they coming to me? Don't come to me. I don't have nothing for you. I have nothing for you. I have nothing for you. Leave me be. The ducks are coming for me like I'm finna feed them. No, I have nothing for you. The ducks are coming like I'm gonna feed them. Oh, see, these are the little windmills type things I was telling you. And when the wind blows, they blow. The ducks coming to me like I'm finna feed them. You know how ducks are. They see food, they come running. Oh, no, 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 no. Now, yeah, these are the ones that I see. Oh, they even have where you can power up your cars. I think if you have an electric car, they power it up. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Not too many parks have that where you can power up your cars and stuff like that. So this is very interesting. Okay, now we're going here to this part of the park. See, this one is spinning, that one is spinning, this one's not spinning. This is probably another baseball field. So this is another part of the baseball field. Now, I have not seen the radio-controlled cars yet. So I don't know if that actually exists at this park. Because apparently, that's what the website say. Now, any of you know anything about this park, you know, let me know. You can comment, email, ontable00yahoo.com. Also comment, you know, at the bottom of this page. Let me know. This is not a bad park. I give this park, it's not bad. There's a fire station that sits over there. This is basically another side of the park. The entrance of the park that I've entered on is on Powerline Road. So, you know, like most parks, there are several entrances to a park. So, you know, this is one of the probably one of the entrances to the park. This is the football field. Oh, this is a big football field. There's 2 football fields. Good. I mean, it's probably not as big as Hard Rock Stadium or any other football field. You know, Hard Rock Stadium is home of the Miami Dolphins, which was formerly Joe Robbie Stadium, formerly Land Shark Stadium, formerly, you know, Dolphin Stadium, however you want to call it. But this is an actual big football field, you know. Every park has their own amenities, and every park has their own, you know, things that they, you know, have. Like this has a football field, you know. You didn't see one at Amelia Earhart Park. You know, certain parks you don't see football fields. So this is something, you know, most parks, you know, parks, they have playgrounds and stuff like that. I actually didn't see a playground here. Unless, no, I take that back. There was a playground here. Yes, we did see one on our way coming up. We did see one. So that was one thing we did see a playground. I take that back. Don't come near me. I have nothing to feed you. Leave me alone. The guy is feeding the bird, the ducks. Ducks came to me like I had something to feed them. No. I have nothing to feed you. Leave me be. I have breakfast in my hand because I did stop at McDonald's for some breakfast. So that's probably why they was looking for me to feed them. But I'm not feeding them. No. But okay, this is an interesting park. I give this park a little bit of credit. Because I've never been to this park before, and I always wondered what these little windmills, whatever you call them. I'm gonna call them windmills. And I'm like, okay, what are they? What park is this? And I've always wondered about this park. And as you can see from the body of water that sits here in this, I guess, lake. This lake looks real high. It looks high up, like it's actually coming up on the shoreline. So that tells you that it's been a massive, you know, it's been a massive storm like past couple of days. Like it's been raining crazy, where streets have been flooded, you know. On my outings, you know, Pinecrest Gardens and, you know, other outings and stuff, I've seen massive floods to the point where it just got crazy. Like you saw earlier when we came up this way that little area of water, that's not a actual little pond or lake. That's actually water from the rain that has not dried up yet. And now the ducks and the birds and stuff have made it their sanctuary where they can go and maybe drink water or take a bath or something. They've made it their sanctuary. So now that's like, whoa, Nelly. But this is an interesting park. On a scale, I'm not saying it's the best. I am going to do the trail area, which I'm not going to show in the video because we're going to, by the time I finish going that way, it's going to be time to wrap up the video. But I am going to do the trail area and check out the trail area and see what it's what. You do have workers here. This is a city of Fort Lauderdale Park. It's not Broward County parks because, there's a difference. You have Miami-Dade parks, and then you have City of Miami parks, and then you have different city parks. You got Hialeah Park, you got Opelika Park. You have different parks in this, different cities. This is the city of Fort Lauderdale Park, because I was looking up different parks, and a lot of parks are not owned by the county. Like Amelia Earhart Park. Amelia Earhart Park is owned by the county. But the Elaine Gordon park, the park in North Miami, the two parks that I did in North Miami, one is owned by the city of North Miami, the other one is owned by one is owned by the city of North Miami, one is owned by the county, actually. And other parks like Oleta River is a state park that's owned by the state. Bill Baggs, Cape Florida, and the Barnacle is owned by the state of Florida because they are state parks. And of course, huge Taylor Birch State Park that's owned by the state, of course. So you have a lot of of these parks. This is owned by the city of Fort Lauderdale, as you saw when we first entered the park. It says city of Fort Lauderdale. Broward County parks have different, I'm sorry, my mind is going blank. Trade Winds Park is owned by the city, it's owned by Broward County. Because as you can see, Broward County parks, when you look at the entrance of their parks, they give you a depth detail of what they have in the parks. Like when we did Trade Winds Park, they told you we have steam ride, trains, they have horse riding, horse trails and stuff. They have all of that, so they give you an in-depth of what they have in their parks. City of Fort Lauderdale really doesn't give you an in-depth of their park. You'll have to go on their website, and that's what I end up doing. I end up doing on their website, and they said controlled cars, and I'm like, ooh, radio-controlled cars. I like that. But I don't see no radio-controlled cars, so I don't know. I thought it was over here, but that's basically the baseball field area, so it's an okay park, but for me, it's not nothing intriguing for me to want to come to all the time. Like if I had kids and I stayed in the area, yeah, I would bring my kids out here to the park. But like for me as a person, regular come to the park, yeah, it's probably not nothing for me to actually want to come into or want to see, because you don't have nothing to offer. Like you don't have a pool or water park, or because most Broward County parks have water parks and stuff like that, and they have amenities, or they have something that would draw attention. And I say, yes, something I seen on the ground. They're not the show. It's nothing to be seen on TV. It's nothing bad, but it's just something. But okay, basically, this is an interesting part. Now, city of Fort Lauderdale and their guys in the truck. I shouldn't have worn white shoes. I wear white shoes because it's light and it's more, light shoes, light things, you don't, because, when you're out in the heat, you want to wear something light. You don't want to wear nothing dark, too dark that will get you hot easily. Even though I'm wearing a dark colored shirt because I'm at a park, and, when I went to Pinecrest, I wore a white shirt because I knew it was probably going to be hot. It's early in the morning, the sun is coming, not too long coming out. So basically, it's not, oh yes, there's the playground right there. There's the playground right there. There's a little area right there, closed off. So we're going to, and this is it. This is Mills Pond Park. Now, I may give you a future update on the controlled cars, the radio controlled cars. But as of right now, I don't see radio controlled cars. So I can't tell you if they are radio controlled cars or if there's anything to that nature. If you've been to this park and you know about them, email me, roundtable00@yahoo.com. You can also comment at the bottom of this page. Like I said, I was told about this park through somebody through social media to check out this park. I mean, I'm going to check out the trail area. I'm not going to do the trail area on this episode because basically that will have to take me into a two-part episode, and I'm not basically trying to do a two-part episode to this park because this is a park that's not really something that's worth for a two-part episode, but basically this is what it is. So I'm going to sit over here, finish off my breakfast because I bought McDonald's. I'm going to sit over here and finish off my breakfast. I'm going to hang out here for a minute because I'm going to do some shopping in Fort Lauderdale, here, head out to maybe come some of the spots that I like to go shopping in and, maybe go shopping or something. There's somebody's ball, they left. It was look different on camera because it's yellow here, but if you see on my camera, it looks like white in the middle. But yeah, I don't know if I want to sit in the pavilion or the gazebo. That pavilion, because that pavilion is near the woods, so I'd rather not. But I'm just gonna come over here and sit down over here. So okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Then there's the playground area. Apparently the one I didn't think that they had, but I finally seen it. I'm like, okay, they have the playground area. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up. I thank you for watching this. If you have any interesting stories about this park, or if you have any interesting stories about any of your parks, you can always comment at the bottom of this page. You can also send the links to your parks. You can also email me, roundtable00@yahoo.com. Don't forget to also click and subscribe to our channel, the Roundtable Talk. We do sometimes have special guests that come on. We also do hotspots in South Florida, which is where we go around South Florida area and check out some of the spots that people frequently visit or spots that are interesting to go to, whether it's an arcade, game room, or family fun center, or park, or anything. And don't forget to check out History in South Florida, where we go around and we check out different history locations throughout South Florida, like the Pinecrest Gardens that we just did was history because it was registered as historical place because it was formerly known as Parrot Jungle before they moved to their new location. And the Barnacle House, the Barnacle State Park, which is history, there, and Hughes Taylor Birch State Park, which is also history. So we do that as well. We don't just do commentary where we do talk about political issues and everyday issues. We also do outings as for history in South Florida and hotspots in South Florida, and this is a hotspot in South Florida. If you're ever in Fort Lauderdale, if you want to check out Mills Ponds Park, you can check it out. I'm not recommending it, but it is a place to go to if you want to bring your kids out. They have plenty of baseball fields from what I've seen. I haven't seen any basketball courts, and they have soccer. They have soccer fields and football fields. I haven't seen a basketball court yet, so that's kind of interesting. Commonly at a park, you will see the most common things you will see at a park. You will see a playground, a basketball court. That's the two common things you will see, but I don't see a playground, a basketball court, a tennis court, and a baseball field. And I don't see the basketball court, and I don't see a tennis court for my understanding. So this is kind of interesting to know that this is not, they don't have full access. I'm going to go back on the site again to check out the site because I may have looked at the wrong park. to know that, oh, this park has radio control. It may have been another park. If it is, I'll come back and do a retraction on this park and give you my update on it, because apparently I was looking at this park and I was saying radio control cars. Maybe this is the park, but it might have been another park I was looking at too, because I was looking at other parks as well too. But this might be it. This might not be it. But we'll check it. I'll have to check it out. This is the Roundtable Talk. I am your host, C Money. I thank y'all for watching this episode, even though this episode was kind of not interesting to me. But I, do like to check out, certain spots, and the park is okay. Like my overall, how can I put it? My overall, rating of the park and my overall saying of the park, it is okay park. But to me, it's not nothing to go gaga Google over or anything, because it doesn't have really much interesting amenities. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go do the trail as soon as I finish my breakfast. I'm going to go do the trail, and in the near future, I'm going to tell you about the trail and what's in the trail and everything, and show you what the depth of all of it. This is the Roundtable Talk. I'm your host, C Money. I thank you for watching. I will see you in the next episode. Stay blessed, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.